Welcome to Charlene's Kitchen. Easter's upon us, and I thought I'd make a few things that were always on my table for Easter. And one thing that I love, and it just seems Easter to me, are deviled eggs. And so I cooked up a couple of eggs, and I'll show you. And we've got that here. So, we cooked up our eggs, 20 minutes. We bring the eggs to a boil, and then cover them for put a lid on it for 20 minutes, and then when they're done, just run them through in cold water. And get the shells off right away, because one time I didn't have enough time, and I made them and I put them in the refrigerator, and the next day I had a real hard time taking the shells off. Now, whether that had or was the reason, I don't know, but I never repeated that again. So once I cooled them off in some cold water, I just immediately start to shell them. And then you can put them in a bag and leave them for the next day because they're fine. And so it's just a little idea, something that I experienced myself. So now we'll look back down here. I just wanted to show you. Here are the egg yolks. So I cut them on an angle, not, let's see, across, I should say, across. And so they look like that, and like a little boat. And you take the eggshells, the yolks out, and put them in a little dish like this. And you want to break them up really well. And then I have a few ingredients. This is such a simple thing to make, and it is so, I just love them. To me, they just spell Easter for me. I have to have them on my table. And everybody likes them. And you know what? They're great for snacking. Great for snacking. So it's just something, I don't know why I only make it at this time of the year. I guess that's the way things, our minds work. And we relate to certain foods at certain times of the year. But they are really good all year long. So now we're going to put a little mayo into this. I'd say about a tablespoon. Okay, and we'll mix that up. And we want to be careful with this because we want a nice consistency. It's got to be just enough. Too much is not good. You don't want them to be runny, or just a little bit of everything. So I sprinkle a couple of shakes of pepper, a couple of shakes of salt, and I'm going to mix that again. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of onion that I chopped up quite fine. And maybe I'm going to just put the teaspoon in. We'll see. And celery chopped really, really fine, as you can see. About a teaspoon. And sweet pickle. I could use relish. You could use relish, but I like the sweet pickle because I can control. I don't want it to be wet. Pickle relish is a little wet. So a good teaspoon of pickle relish. And we'll just see how that looks as we mix it up. See, for me, everything is, I eyeball it. How does it look? Maybe I could add a little more of this or a little bit more of that. Now, this is a nice consistency, I think. And let's just mash that all down really well. Really nice. I think I am going to add just a little more onion and a little more celery. So it looks like a good teaspoon and a half. And of course, I love the sweet pickles. I get these little mini sweet pickles, and I just maybe 6 or 7 of them, and just chop them up real fine, as much as you can, so you can see how that looks. All right, and we're going to add a little yellow mustard. Gotta have that. Gotta have it. About a half a teaspoon of yellow mustard. I think I'm going to take my spoon out of my mayonnaise here, and what's ever there, I'm just going to I'm going to put it in here, just like that. And I'm going to get rid of this fork and just give this a good mix now. And we'll just fill our little eggs with, now, so now we'll just mix that all up really well. All right, I'm going to take a dash of this and just taste this a little bit. That's pretty good. I'm fine with that. So it's nice to have that little bit of crunch, you know, that you get from the celery and the pickle and the little onion. And here we go. So I'm just going to take a dash of this. We'll put these over here. And we're going to fill this. Oh, something got over here. I see a little piece of eggshell. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of this and fill it in my little boat. They look like little boats to me. And there it is. Oh, these are so good. Tell you what, when I get up in the morning, we have leftover deviled eggs. I just love to have a couple of those with my coffee in the morning. It's just really, so try if you've never made them before. It's very simple, very simple. Like so. And when you can make these ahead of time, and then like that morning, if you're having company, you can fill them at that time in the morning. They don't take too long. Some people put them, if you're making if you're making more than this, you know, you might want to. You can, I don't make it, I get it all ready and I fill it that morning before my company comes. And now, let's see, I'm going to scoop this up. Oh, I've got plenty here yet. It's hiding. It's hiding. All right, so we're going to add this one. Oh, that's a generous amount there. Okay, that's the end of that spoon. And we'll just scoop that up. Why not, right? Let's see, which one looks like it could use a little more. So, you know, it works out very nicely with the yolks. Just enough to more than fill them, right? Okay, and then I top that off. Let me just rinse my hands a little bit. And I top it off with a little bit of paprika. Just a little for color. Just like that. Oh, golly, that's so delicious. What a nice little Easter treat, huh? In the morning, if you have a little buffet or as a snack before your dinner starts, everybody can grab a little egg. And we just love these little things, don't we? I'm going to take a bite. I can hardly wait. Okay. That is so good. If you've never made them before, I hope you try it. You'll find a lot of people might say, wow, deviled eggs. I haven't had one in many, many moons. Enjoy. I'm making now some German potato salad. I always make the American, but I love the German potato salad. And I guess I don't make it often because my husband doesn't really care for it that much. He always likes the American potato salad. But this is something that I grew up with. My mother always made German potato salad for Easter. And so I cooked up a couple of potatoes, and here they are already all cooked up here. Unlike American potato salad, we slice our potatoes. So you bring them to you cook them up in skins and then peel them and slice them as I did. And now we'll go and make our sauce. So earlier today I cooked up some bacon, and Skip was happy because he got a BLT out of me with that. And so now you rendered the fat from that bacon, and that's what we need to make our sauce. So you need about a tablespoon and all that good stuff that's at the bottom, from that. And now I'm going to add, let's see, I would say a good maybe tablespoon and a half of that. And now I'm going to add my veggies, okay? So I cut this all up real nice, and we'll put that into our pan so you can see what's going on here. All right, so into that, good stuff there. We're going to saute a little onion, some celery, and some bacon bits. I took a couple of slices of bacon and I chopped them up real fine after they're nicely brown bacon. We don't want it to be, well cooked, nice and brown. And then chop it up. And so now we're going to get that saute. You saute it just a little bit. In fact, you know that I'm looking at that. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the bacon fat. See how I put it in a little cup? I save it. So for the week, this way if I need it for something that I'm making, because it's a wonderful wonderful agent for frying anything, pork chops. When you make pot roast, you brown it up in that bacon fat. That's the best thing you can do. That's what grandmas used to do. That's why everything tasted so good, huh? So we're going to saute that a little bit. So there's bacon. I would say, good 2 tablespoons of celery, and this is same for the onion, about a good heaping tablespoon. In fact, if you like a little more, just add a little more. And you know, it's all contingent on how much potatoes you have too. So I'm not making a whole lot right now. I have about maybe 4 potatoes in there. That's about it. Normally, if I'm making for the family, I cook about, well, maybe 6, because I have all kinds of other salads, and this does make up quite a bit. So that's looking good. You just saute it in that fat, like that. Now, to that, I am going to add, normally I do a cup of water, a cup of sugar, and a cup of vinegar. But seeing that I'm only using a little less potato, I'm not going to make that much sauce. I can always add. So there's my vinegar and sugar. I'm going to add that to I already had the sugar in there. So a half a cup. And this kind of looks right for the amount that I have. And I'm going to add now a half a cup of water to this. And there's a half a cup of water. And to that water, I am going to add about, let's see, I'm going to lower this a little bit here. This is cornstarch. I'm going to add a teaspoon of cornstarch to my water, okay? And just make a little slurry with that, like that. Maybe I'm going to add just a little more. I'm going to add another half a teaspoon. Wait, I have the wrong one. Sorry about that. Yeah, here it is. Half a teaspoon now. I'm only going to put. Okay. So make your little slurry with the water. So normally if I have 5 or let's say if I have 7 or 8 potatoes, I'm going to use a cup of water, a cup of sugar, and a cup of vinegar, whichever way you're doing this. It's just equal parts, okay? Equal parts. All right, that's coming to a simmer. I'm going to add, I want to add some salt to that. All right, because I haven't salted the potatoes either, so I don't know. I'm going to add a little bit of celery seed, about a half, not even a quarter teaspoon of celery seed. Oh dear, too much came out. I've got to skim it off. I've got to skim that off. That's it. Okay. And now I'm going to add the slurry that I made slowly. Right, let's see, let's bring it to a boil. Let it simmer up a little bit more. And let's see, I did the pepper, yeah, okay, and the salt. And now I'm going to slur up this slurry with cornstarch. And just pick up all those nice bacon bits at the bottom. And of course, you know, we chopped up a couple slices of bacon, real crisp, and cut it up slowly. Now I'm going to add my slurry to this because I want it to thicken up a little bit. You don't want it watery. I've had German-style potatoes. Sometimes they're just too dry. People don't make enough sauce. You have to remember that the potatoes will absorb the sauce. If they're more starchy or so, they're going to. So you want enough sauce. Can't be stingy with it, and it's easy to make. Just take a little bacon fat, about 2 tablespoons. Saute about a half an onion, a stick or so of celery. Chop up a few bacon bits, and about three or four sticks of bacon, and chop it up real fine after it's been browned real well. And that will make a nice sauce. See how that's coming? Just enough. So, and remember, equal parts. That's the easiest way to remember it. Equal parts of water, sugar, and vinegar. Okay? And that'll do that. Let that simmer just a little bit. I'm going to do a little test here to see how I am with the salt. I want to know where I'm at with that. Let's just see. I always say you have to taste it. You have to taste it. You have to taste it. Otherwise you don't know where you're at with it. Oh, that's good. It's got a nice bite to it. I'm going to add just a little more salt. Ooh, that vinegar. And you want to make sure that the sugar is well mixed. I can still feel it at the bottom of the pan. And don't hesitate. If you feel that you want it a little bit more sweeter, if you want it sweeter, then by all means add a little bit more sugar. Ooh, that got me a little bit. Okay, I think I'm going to add a little bit more sugar, actually. I'm going to add another tablespoon of sugar. That's how we cook. That's how we cook. I can feel that sugar at the bottom there. It's got to all cook down. Okay. German potato salad. God, I always couldn't wait for that. When my mother had this meal at Easter time, and she made a wonderful, wonderful sauce. So that's it. I see that it's there. I'm going to add I want to see one more time if I need more salt. I want to see if I need more salt. Because my potatoes were not salted. Oh, that's good. All right. I'm going to bring those potatoes over. I turn this off. Here are my potatoes. I'm going to pour this wonderful sauce over those potatoes. Oh, that looks so delicious, so delicious. And I like to serve them kind of room temperature. So like, I always make them the day before, or you can make this 2 days before. And then put it in your fridge. And then when you're expecting the day of your company, if it's Easter Sunday or whatever it is, you pull it out earlier in the day. And you can even put it in the microwave for a few minutes. But you don't want it hot. It's just like, now I'm going to add some eggs. About 2 hard-boiled eggs. I add that to it. And that gives it that nice, the egg yolk, you know, gives it a nice flavor. Mmm, yummy. There's how that German potato salad looks. A little egg you can toss around in there, in that sauce, and the bacon and the potatoes. It's yummy good. We'll plate that up and have a taste. All right, so here we are. We have our little deviled eggs that we made, and we have the German potato salad. I'm going to bring this down so you can see the plate. There we are. Let's see. Just push that back a little bit. Yep, there you go. See my little baranek? My little Polski baranek, huh? And tute. I want to show you something. Taco malutka kurka, little kurka, huh? Isn't that cute? That's a little chicken. And so my baranek and my little kurka, they're together, see? Like that. Did your busha ever have that for you? Some of you may have memories. These are Polish Easter eggs. They're painted. Actually, this one is Russian. This is Russian. My daughter was there years and years ago. And these are the Polish Easter eggs, and I just love them because they are so colorful, huh? Aren't they pretty? I have all kinds of colors. Red, and let me see if I can find another one here. Look at this one here. Isn't that pretty? Hand painted. Yeah. So there's our little kurka's gonna have to move. So here we are, and we're gonna put some of that German potato salad on our plate, like that. Isn't that nice? Boy, I can't wait for Sunday when I'm going to have that ham in the oven. That's really going to go good with this, huh? Wow, look at that. Deviled eggs, and then our German potato salad with the bacon bits and the onion, and this is so good. Let's see if I try a little piece of this. Let me try a little piece of this. This is so good. You're gonna love it. I'm wishing you a happy Easter. I hope you try my recipe. Enjoy.